Ashe. Welcome to Soul Secretions. It's Saucy Scribe. So, I just wanted to have a quick little chat about the importance of studying the birth chart, going beyond the sun sign and really diving deep into the birth chart. It is essential for self-study. It is essential for your dealings, whether it be business, whether it be just your day-to-day dealings with the people who are the closest to you, whether it be romantic, whatever the case is. Studying one's birth chart is really essential for knowing like how you will vibe with a person, or even just being able to have some insight into where a person's quirks and some of their hangups may lie, and even where some of their best characteristics lie. Because sometimes if you see something in someone that they don't see in themselves by looking at a person's birth chart, you can see where they may need a bit of a push, especially if you know you have that key, so to speak. Because at the end of the day, we deal with the people that we deal with, and we meet the people that we meet because obviously they hold some sort of key. If we choose to, communicate with them on any level that is significant, then obviously our spirits is telling us like this person holds some key. Now, whether or not we understand that or we get it doesn't matter, because sometimes you won't get it through said person. It may not be until several people later that you finally say, oh, this is what all these different people were trying to bring. This was the truth that they were trying to bring to me. Now I get it finally through this person. So it happens that way sometimes. But anyway, we're all here to help each other because we are all part of one whole. So we're just helping each other to realize the whole, giving each other pieces and clues to the whole. So anyway, in helping somebody else, just even knowing another person's, like I said, some of their quirks or whatever, you can go easier on people. I know that's what's happened for me in studying, people's birth charts that I, have loved, that I do love, that are close to me. Like, it really did give me insight, and it helped me to, like I said, go easier. And it even helps you to appreciate people more when you get to see like, oh, like for instance, there may be something about somebody that you find annoying, right? But it's not anything that's too bad. It's not a deal breaker. Or it's not something that would have you go like, oh my God, I can't deal with that person ever again. It's nothing that serious. It's just like, it might be like a minor annoyance. Like, oh, I don't like how they always, have to say bless you after a sneeze. I don't like that. How they have to always say bless you. Like it's so religious. If they don't say it, they freak out. If, some time goes by and they realize they didn't say it, they'll have to circle back around and say it, or they'll have to ask, oh, did I say bless you? And you might be annoyed by that, right? But if you study a person's birth chart, you might find that perhaps there is something in their ninth house, which is the house that belongs to Sagittarius. It is the house that has to do with religion, more or less. Religion, spirituality, the realm of where you get your lessons about life. What am I trying to say? I just lost my train of thought. I hate when that happens. Hold on, let me stop for a moment. At where Jupiter is, like, so Jupiter or whatever planets may be in the ninth house. So you can look at what Jupiter is, which is the ruler of Sagittarius, or you can look at the ninth house, which belongs to Sagittarius, and the house that the planet Jupiter rules. So, for instance, in the ninth house, the house of religion, let's say that you have Pluto there, that would make for a very intense energy. And let's say that you have Pluto and Saturn in the ninth house. And let's just even say that you even have Jupiter in there for good measures. You have Jupiter in the ninth house. And that would make for a person that might be a bit touchy about religion. So that might make for, if you can see that and look at that in the birth chart and understand what Jupiter is, and you understand what the ninth house is, and you understand what Sagittarius represents, then you will understand and you will get insight. And it takes work, don't get me wrong, it takes work, but that's what makes it so fruitful and such a fascinating study, is that you don't get it all up front. You have to dig, you have to meditate, you have to let the information come to you. You study people, but not with the, at least for me, it's not with the efforts of controlling anybody. It's not with the efforts of manipulating and just knowing a person's weaknesses so you know how to get what you want, or you know what makes them tick so you can tell other people or have one over on somebody. It's not even about that. It's about just knowing how to deal with people and how to bring out the best in people, how to be gentle with people, and it also teaches you that we all have our dark sides. We all have those things inside of us that people outside of us can't see, they can't fathom, and yet it's there. And it helps you to realize that we're all dealing with our own inner demons, so to speak. Those things that are in the darkness, so to speak, that we wouldn't necessarily want someone else to see. Those are your inner demons. Anything you wouldn't want somebody else to know or to see or whatever, that's one of your demons, because it's keeping you from freedom. It's keeping you from being free. It's keeping you from being a true god or goddess. How the hell are you gonna be a god or a god or a goddess or be infinite and you hiding behind secrets? So astrology is wonderful for uncovering one's own secrets or the secrets of others. And I mean just the secret nooks and crannies of a person's personality and character. And it kind of helps you to understand, oh, this is why they act that way. And oh, this is why they get sensitive about this particular topic. And it's just knowing that, to me, it just helps you. It just teaches you compassion. That's what it teaches you. And I'm heavy Pisces. My sun sign is Virgo, but I'm Pisces rising. And of course, because my opposite sign is Pisces, that would mean that I also exhibit Pisces traits just in general. Just as a Pisces exhibits some Virgoan traits, because we are of the opposite polarities. So that means we're going to automatically, each other's traits will show up in sometimes the oddest of ways, sometimes ways that you don't see coming. A way that feels completely opposite to what people would expect, but it's still there nonetheless. So it's kind of like maybe up front I would be more like if we're just talking polarities up front, you would see me as a Virgo, or you might think of me as a Virgo, but once you really get to know me and you dig into the core, you see that what's opposite of that, or what really lies within at the core, is a Pisces nature. And then you take the fact that I'm Pisces rising, which colors my appearance. And they say that the Pisces rising also has to do with your spirit. So my spirit and my appearance is very Pisces-like. So just in knowing that alone kind of shows me, it gives me insight into why people seek me out a lot of times for spiritual topics that seem way out there. Because, a primary chart ruler for me is Neptune and Jupiter. because Jupiter is the original ruler of Pisces. So your Pisces rising sign, whatever the planet is for that sign, that is your chart ruler, is what they say. It has a heavy influence over your entire birth chart. So for me, it's Neptune. And Neptune is very just boundless and dreamy, and that which has no boundaries is kind of scary because you're constantly going into unknown spaces because there's no boundaries. So it's just a constant unknown that you can never solve. It's just a vast unknown space that you can never ever penetrate the depths of, but you just know that it's so deep, but you can never ever get to the bottom of it. That's Neptune. And so that would color a person's entire birth chart. So I feel like it wasn't until I understood this that I realized why I'm more laxed than some other Virgos. And what I mean by lax, I mean a lot of earth signs are go-getters in terms of getting that money. And that was me. I can't lie. I definitely was a hustler, and I was holding down 2.5 jobs at one time in college. And so I know what it means to straight be on the hustle. But then I also knew what it meant to fall back from the hustle and not give a fuck about money, because I felt like I was beyond money and money was controlling me too much. And that would be the Neptune, that part that wants to get free, that doesn't want the boundaries, wants the boundlessness, the unknowingness. And right now I am in an unknown space where I feel like there's so many possibilities for what I can do. And I feel like to work, to hustle in the Virgo fashion that I was, my chart ruler, Neptune, was not having it, because Neptune just does not want the boundaries. And as we know, with work, traditional working comes boundaries, comes structure. Even if you run your own business, you have a certain level of freedom, but you still have a structure that you have to work inside of if you want that business to be successful. There's always going to be some kind of structure. If you want something to manifest into the physical realm of this thing called Earth, that means that you will have to have structure. And with structure means sacrificing things, giving up some of those things that you probably would rather be doing. But either way it goes, regardless of how you feel about working and structuring, the fact still remains that you got to have structure regardless if you work for yourself or if you work for somebody else. And so it helped me knowing my rising sign and studying it deeply and realizing that, or learning that, the planet that rules my rising sign is Neptune, which has a heavy influence over my birth chart. So that explained why I could have my periods of time where I'm going hard, I'm making money, but at some point I would always become extremely dissatisfied with whatever structured work I was doing. Even stuff I would do at home. If it became, I could only enjoy the routine for so long before I would feel its limitations, and I would feel its just feeling like something coming down around my body, keeping me from moving in the way I want to move, the way my spirit wants me to move. That's what it felt like to have a routine that would lead to some form of success in the material plane. So what I'm currently doing now is I'm doing me, and I'm seeing where it would take me. I'm seeing what can happen if I just put everything out there that is inside of me creatively, that has come from these boundless places that Neptune has allowed me to see, and has allowed me these worlds and these far out ideas that Neptune has allowed me to see and has put within my reach. Through soul secretions, I feel like this is one of the avenues in which I get to dabble in all of it and not care about the fact that there is no structure, because there will not be any structure. And I'm so much about structure, so even saying there won't be any structure is kind of scary. But I know the bigger energy outside of my ego, outside of my sun sign, my consciousness, my conscious sun side, what's beyond that in the subconscious, in the those vast unknown energies that's surrounding me, what I feel is that Neptune calling, which is for boundlessness, which is to ride in whatever direction your spirit would have you to go. Yeah, and ride strong on that horse in whatever direction you go in. And that's what I'm doing, and I'm seeing where it takes me. So that's just my little 2 cents, though. Just a little bit about the importance of studying the birth chart, but it is important. You know, all the dealings. You know, if you're thinking about getting into a serious relationship, oh my gosh, a marriage. Back in the day, there are some East Asian cultures that actually used to, or just Asian cultures in general, that used to, I don't know if they still do, they used to use birth charts to determine whether or not two people should get married. And I think they were very smart to do that. And I think people would be very smart today to base their romantic decisions around an astrological birth chart, not the sun sign alone. Go beyond that. You can study that through and through as well. Study the sun sign. That's the person's ego. So that's that's the conscious brain of that person, their sun sign. So study it through and through, but don't just stop there, because there's other things that could propel or could add more energy to those qualities, could take away from some of those sun sign qualities, could undermine some of those sun sign qualities, could just totally kind of obliterate them, depending on how strong other placements are affecting your sun sign placement, and vice versa. So that's why I know that may sound kind of complex to a person who has not even delved even a little bit into astrology, but once you get into it, you'll understand what I mean. But yeah, it's just important to go beneath that sun sign, because they say if you share the same element, like if your moon sign is the same element as the person you're dealing with, then you two should really get along. So this is another reason. And the moon sign tells you how a person reacts, what their emotional reactive side is like. That's why knowing a person's moon sign is really good, because it will tell you what their secret self is, how they react. Because we have many, many, many reactions on the inside that people don't even see all the time, or they may not be able to always read it, but we have them nonetheless. And knowing a person's moon sign tells you a bit about those secret thoughts that come after something happens, those thoughts and that reaction that comes, the reactionary thinking and feeling, and even how they react outwardly. The moon sign will tell you a lot about that. And depending on which source you're reading, it will even tell you how to get the best out of that placement. So whatever that moon sign is, it will tell you how to get the best out of it. For me, it's moon in Aries. So if you know anything about Aries and coupling that with what I just said about the moon is your emotional self, it's your reactive self, it's your subconscious. It's that thing that comes in and comes into your character and nobody sees it coming. Sometimes you don't even see it coming because it's just hovering around somewhere, and when something triggers it, bam, it comes in and you react in that way. So for me, it's Aries. So I've been known when my buttons are pressed beyond a certain point, that reserved Virgo nature, because Virgos in general, if they can only be pushed so far, and when they break, it's a sight to behold. So just put that with that Aries moon. And we all know the Aries, when I think of aggressiveness, I think Aries is the most aggressive sign of all the zodiacs. I don't know about anybody else, but that's what I feel. Ruled by Mars. I know Scorpio is ruled by Mars too. traditionally. And in my book, it still is ruled by Mars, most definitely. My Scorpio daughter is showing me that all the time, how she's ruled by both Pluto and Mars. I see it. Ooh, I see it. But I have a little Aries and a Scorpio. The Aries is 1, Scorpio is 3. And when I tell you this Martian energy around this place, so my moon in Aries is really being it's been ignited. So I'm just saying, moon in Aries, the reactive side is very Aries-like. So a lot of people really don't see the Aries moon person coming when they finally get ticked off and they go crazy. They react before they don't think about it. All they know is, I'm feeling this pain, it's this heaviness, and that's the Virgo side of me. My Virgo sun, it would be reserved, it would take the hits, take the treatment, take it. And then just to see the transition between the Virgo sun, and I'm getting off track here, but just to see that transition between, it's a sight to behold. It is a sight to behold, to see the transition from trying to stay in the reserved Virgo space, but being pulled by that Aries moon. Ooh, I won't lie, it could be ugly. I'm not proud of it. It's not something I talk about from a proud fashion, but I'm saying, knowing that about my moon sign, a person would know, okay, if you push her too much, and you're going to see little signs. It ain't just going to be like, I'm just a quiet little flower. Oh, unassuming. No, because Virgos, we talk some shit first. Because, we're not going to just let you just talk. We're very mouthy. We're ruled by Mercury. Mercury is the planet of intellect. It governs how you think, how you communicate those thoughts. And those ruled by Mercury, they usually have very, very powerful thought processes that can affect their environment. This is my assessment and what I feel to be true about the Geminis and the Virgos that I know. They just work in slightly different fashions because Virgo is earth, Gemini is air. But what I find is that both of those signs, Gemini and Virgo, are ruled by Mercury, and what we have in common is our power to abuse with words, our power to go to war with you with just mere intellect and words alone. So it's taking knowledge, what we know, our observations, because Virgos and Geminis are very observing, and Mercury lends us that as well. But Virgo is very observing. We're the analytical sign. Our motto is I analyze. So we already be filing away stuff. So anyway, so it ain't like when you push a Virgo, they're just going to be like, oh, okay. Oh, this person's said something bad to me and they're mistreating me and they're throwing shade. Oh, okay. I wish they would stop. Hell no, Virgo's not going to do that. They're going to be talking some shit. But they're going to be kind of low-key at first with that little edge like, what? Come on now. Come on. Use your common sense. Be chill. Come on now. It'll be a little build-up. But then when the Aries kick in, it will go from that little kind of talking to you kind of a little recklessly. That's what Virgo do, talking to you a little reckless. Like, come on, man. Use your fucking head. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Like, did you really think, that this, that, the third, or when I just said this, that, the third, or did you hear me? Did you listen? That's the Virgo. But then when you see the person is just kind of still fucking with you, or they still don't get it, they just still nagging you. Then you see that, okay, you're going back and forth. At least this is me. You're going back and forth. You're like, your face, 1 minute your face cool, next minute you like, it's this battle. And then when that Aries moon take over, that reactive side just completely take over that reserved Virgo sun, you just start doing, saying, I mean firing off. You think the Virgo alone, ruled by Mercury, uses words as weapons that cut so hard, as one person put it on YouTube. Virgo can use words that cut you so hard it feels like a physical cut. That person helped me to understand why I used to get in so much trouble through the years coming up. And I was told by many people over the years, adults when I was younger, men when I was dating, like men, I can't tell you how many men have talked to me about my mouth. And I know many women have been saying, oh yeah, you need to be quiet, you got a mouth. No, I don't mean like just yapping. And I mean saying, like, I've had guys get so pissed off because the way that I came to them was like how a man would come. And they can't deal, they don't know how to deal with it. They don't know how to deal with it. A woman that comes at them in such a cool, I don't give a fuck fashion, like a man, as a man would. Woo, they hate it. Not all the hitting you, motherfucker, bitch, hitting them. Get fucked. No, I'm talking that woman, she not even putting her hands on you. She just giving you a look like, man, get your bitch. Like a look like, you're not even worth my time. You know, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out now. That's all I'm asking. Just get the fuck out. Simple as that. Like, I don't want to argue with you. Just get the fuck out. Stop being fucking weak. Stop being stuff like that. Yeah. So you think Virgo can be cool, you know, Virgo can wield the words of weapons in those moments? Well, you put that with the Aries moon who's been pushed beyond those limits, and then you're talking about and then Aries, that's the warlike sign. That's Aries is ruled by Mars, the war planet, the militant planet, the planet that goes hard, the planet that goes and does not think first. They're eternally ignited, always ready. So when you put that quality with that Virgo sun that's already got away with words, especially when pissed, then you talking about some rapid fire. I'm literally putting words together to annihilate you. And I'm coming hard and I'm not stopping. That's the Aries moon coupled with the Virgo sun. I don't know if any other Virgo suns, Aries moons out there can attest to this, but you know what I'm talking about. And we look unassuming until somebody fucks with us because we are sweet. We really love. Like, Aries people are loving as well. But when they get pushed, watch out. It's all war. It becomes a battle zone, a war zone, flat out. So I'm going to stop there for now. Peace, love, and light.